picture this, it's the 60s, the civil rights movement is in full swing.
Yeah.
You see the speeches, the marches, those
Mhm.
iconic faces like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X.
Right.
But there were these other forces quietly shaping history, the mothers behind these men.
It is amazing how we tend to focus on those at the forefront, but those who shape their values, their beliefs, their very spirits are often just as important.
Absolutely. So today we're diving deep into the lives of three extraordinary mothers. Alberta King, mother of MLK Jr., Louise, little mother of Malcolm X,
Okay.
and Bertis Baldwin, mother of James Baldwin.
Those names carry so much weight.
They really do.
Mhm.
And for those of you listening who, like me, lived through the 60s, this is a chance to revisit those times through a new lens.
I like a new lens.
We'll be using the work of sociologist Anna Malika Tubbs.
Oh, wonderful.
She really brought these women's stories to light in her book, The Three Mothers,
Oh.
and a really fascinating TED Radio Hour episode.
It's a great listen.
So let's start with Alberta King. She was raised in Atlanta in a home where faith and social justice were just intertwined.
Hmm.
I mean, can you imagine being involved in marches and boycotts from a young age?
Wow. Yeah.
She was even a member of the NAACP early on.
That's a powerful foundation for a young person to build upon.
For sure. Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Alberta was actually a trained teacher. But get this. She had to give up her career because of something called the marriage bar law.
The marriage bar.
It prohibited married women from teaching in many states.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize.
It's crazy, right? This idea that a woman's place was only in the home, not the workforce.
It's astounding how much things have changed.
Totally. But even though Alberta couldn't teach formally, she brought the classroom home.
Oh, I see.
She was determined to instill those values of equality and justice in her kids no matter what.
It speaks volumes about her character.
It does. And, when you consider the impact her son had on the world, it really shows how important her influence was.
Yeah. Her impact reached far beyond her own home.
And we can't forget about Alberta's faith.
Right.
It gave her incredible strength, especially as her son took on such a dangerous mission.
Absolutely. You can see how her faith helped her cope with both the triumphs and the tragedies she faced.
It was a source of comfort in really difficult times.
For sure.
But of course, we can't talk about Alberta King without acknowledging the terrible tragedy she endured. First, the assassination of her son.
A loss that shook the entire nation.
It did. And then her own tragic death shot while playing the organ at church.
Oh my goodness. It's hard to even fathom that level of grief.
It makes you think about the hidden burdens that those close to these great figures had to carry.
Yes, we often focus on the public image, but behind the scenes, there were very personal stories of sacrifice and strength.
Yeah, it really reminds you that these movements weren't just ideas, they were deeply personal and often came at a huge personal cost.
Absolutely.
And speaking of personal cost, Louise Little Malcolm X's mother, well, she also faced incredible danger for what she believed in.
Her story is really one of amazing resilience.
Yeah.
Shaped by where she grew up in Grenada, an island with a long history of resisting colonialism and white supremacy. That spirit of resistance, it really ran through her life.
She didn't just inherit that spirit, though. She was an activist herself, deeply involved in the Darwinist movement. Actually, I have to admit, I wasn't that familiar with it before researching for this.
Oh, yeah. It was a really significant movement in the early 1900s, founded by Marcus Garvey.
Right.
They advocated for Black nationalism and self-reliance, basically the importance of Black people defining their own future and building their own communities.
Definitely not a movement for the faint of heart.
No, not at all.
And Louise was right on the front lines facing some serious danger.
Imagine having your home burned down because of your beliefs.
It's chilling to think about the lengths people would go to silence those who challenged the way things were.
It is, and Louise faced these threats even while she was pregnant with Malcolm X.
I can't imagine the strength it took to keep fighting for justice with all of that going on.
It's incredible.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, Louise was later unjustly institutionalized for 25 years.
A truly heartbreaking story. She was labeled delusional just for speaking out against discrimination.
Really?
Yeah, it just shows how systems can be used to silence voices, especially those of Black women.
It makes you wonder how many other voices were silenced in similar ways, just dismissed and never heard.
So many, I'm sure.
But even after all of that, Louise's spirit wasn't broken. Her impact on Malcolm X was huge.
Oh, absolutely. He often spoke about his mother's strength and her unwavering belief in Black liberation.
It's really amazing how a mother's influence can be so powerful.
It really is.
Even when she wasn't there, Her values and beliefs, they shaped Malcolm X's whole worldview and helped make him the influential figure he became.
It's like she planted the seeds for his activism.
And it makes you think, how different would his path have been if his mother hadn't been taken from him?
It's hard to say, but it really highlights how crucial a mother's presence, guidance, and love can be.
Now, our final mother in this deep dive, Bertis Baldwin, James Baldwin's mother. She had a different kind of influence.
Yeah, a different kind, but no less powerful.
Right.
While Alberta King was this fierce activist and Louise Little this voice against injustice, Bertis Baldwin, she had this incredible way of finding light even in the darkest of times.
She was known for being so warm and positive.
Yeah, and her writing too.
Oh, yeah, she wrote these amazing letters filled with wisdom and life lessons.
It's like she created her own little collection of resilience and love just shared through these letters.
And one thing that really stands out in those letters is her focus on love and forgiveness.
Even when facing pain.
Even then, it wasn't just an idea for Bertis, it was how she lived.
Very powerful.
And this is especially remarkable when you think about the difficulties she faced in her own marriage.
Right. Her marriage to David Baldwin, it was really tough.
He struggled with mental illness and was abusive.
And that had a deep impact on James.
It did. It just goes to show that even those who raise these influential figures, they weren't immune to pain and struggle.
Absolutely.
But even in that difficult environment, Bertis was there for James. She supported his dreams of being an artist and even encouraged him to move to Paris.
Wow, even though it meant being apart.
She knew it was important for him to grow.
That's a perfect example of a mother's selfless love and belief in her child.
And think about what came from that support. James Baldwin became this brilliant, world-renowned writer.
Exploring really complex themes.
He did. It's hard to imagine him achieving all that he did without his mother's constant belief in him.
It really underscores how much mothers can influence their children's paths.
Yeah, they don't just provide emotional support, but that encouragement and belief that's so essential for pursuing your passions.
Absolutely.
Bertis's legacy isn't just about creativity, though. It's about seeing the world in a certain way, a world based on love, forgiveness, and hope. And that legacy, it lives on not just through James Baldwin's work, but through her descendants, too.
It's like a beautiful ripple effect.
It is. These women, Alberta King Louise Little and Bertis Baldwin, they weren't just in the background. They actively shape history. Their belief in their children, their commitment to justice, their resilience in the face of incredible odds, they're all lessons for us.
I agree.
It really makes you think, if everyone knew these women's stories, would it change how we see leadership influence and the role of mothers in shaping society?
It's an interesting question. If we include these often overlooked perspectives in our understanding of history, it could totally change how we view power influence, even the forces that shape our world.
It's like a call to look deeper, to question what we think we know, and to find those hidden voices that have so much to teach us.
Yeah, and maybe it'll inspire us to think about our own mothers, the lessons they taught us, and how they made us who we are today.
It's about recognizing the powerful influence of mothers, not just in our personal lives, but in the grand scheme of history.
Yeah, it makes you think about those unsung heroes, those figures whose stories haven't always been told, but who were so important in shaping the world we live in. And it's especially powerful when you consider that for so long the contributions of women, particularly Black women, were overlooked or downplayed.
It's true. But these women, Alberta King, Louise Little, and Bertis Baldwin, their stories, they show us that influence can take many forms.
Yeah.
It's not always about being in the spotlight or having a powerful position.
Right. It's about the values you live by, the love you give, the unwavering belief you have in your children's potential. Those are the things that can have a ripple effect shaping lives and even the course of history.
And it reminds me of those letters that Bertis Baldwin wrote. They weren't meant to be published, but they were full of so much wisdom and love. It shows that we can all touch lives in meaningful ways, even through small actions.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that we're all connected and that even those who aren't in the history books can have a lasting impact on the world.
It's a powerful thought. And for everyone listening, I encourage you to think about the influences in your own lives. The people, especially the mothers who shaped your values, nurtured your dreams, and helped you become who you are.
Those are the legacies that truly matter, the ones that continue through generations and continue to shape the world around us.
So on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the lives of these incredible mothers. We hope exploring Alberta King Louise Little and Bertis Baldwin has given you a new appreciation for those often unseen forces that shape our world.
If you're looking for more deep dives that uncover these kinds of stories and reveal the complexities of history, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got a whole world of fascinating narratives just waiting to be explored.
So until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the stories that matter.